Welcome to the Henshin Hangout. Daryl is absent. He pulled a Rocky and broke his back. I don't know if he really broke his back, but he injured himself.
He's getting old, man. He's getting old.
He injured himself. I don't know what he did. He just sent me a message at 4 o'clock in the morning saying that he woke up to urinate and he injured his back.
See, he's working out too much, man.
I think he is. I think he is.
He's going for it.
He's going hard in the paint because he wants to be a...
That's what I'm saying. Just wait when he's a Ranger. It's going to be great.
He's going to be a stranger.
We'll have full access to a Ranger.
We already do.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, we own him? I don't know.
We don't own anybody here. Slavery is outlawed, apparently.
Like that. Just,
Well, how do you mean that then?
we're in charge. Hashtag.
I don't know what that means. Anyways, we're here to talk about what episode is this? 30? 29? 30?
29.
What is this? 30.
30.
Episode 30. We've gotten through 30 episodes, and it feels just like yesterday that we blasted off in the Orion with our team of Kyurangers and the zany commander. But what a ride it has been, and right now we are...
Who you are.
I'm Joe. Hey.
There may be new people watching.
I just did a solo episode of
It's
It's doing record-breaking numbers, okay? People know who... No, I'm Joe with that hashtag show. Who are you?
Oh, yeah, that's the guy I don't have,
Who are you?
It
doesn't matter who you are! People are tuning in to watch me anyway. Just kidding.
I'm the commander, right?
You're zany and goofy.
I started it off.
But we are going to be talking about episode 30 of Kyuranger, and right off the bat, we have some Kyuranger news.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? You want to let them...
I have no idea.
We don't have any news. I'm just kidding. I want to see if you had anything to say.
Oh, yeah.
We only have like 12 episodes left, I feel like, so we're ramping up really fast.
The episode itself is news.
You know what I feel, though? Every single time our producer's like, we could do double episodes because there's going to be weeks that you're going to have off because there's not going to air an episode. When does that week fucking come?
That didn't happen on this show.
30 consecutive weeks of episodes we've had. There's been not one that they missed.
Not one. But yet we go to America and we're missing weeks on weeks.
Already we're missing next week's this Saturday Power Rangers is not airing in the United States.
National Play Day.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means. I have no clue.
Anyways, we are here to talk about Kyurangers. This is right. This is the Kyutama that probably represents me the best, the Phoenix Soldier.
Hey, you brought somebody back to life.
I brought you back to life, didn't I?
That's not
We start off in this episode with the Rangers already in peril. Now, are they even called Rangers?
They're called saviors.
They're called Rangers. The greatest saviors of the galaxy.
That's right.
They're already in peril. Why don't you give us a play-by-play of what happened here?
Well, so the Rangers are already stuck from everything that happened previously, where Don Armage pretty much laid waste to everyone. Came through and kicked some ass, like hardcore. Really, he did. So
He also looks like Brainiac.
He looks like Brainiac
and Lord Zed.
Exactly, right? It's like those two came together and made something just as menacing.
Do you think that we'll get that version of the suit in America? Because you got to think about it. It looks pretty menacing.
Do you think we're even going to get this in America?
Probably not.
Because this show is too good.
Actually, I wouldn't mind it if they didn't do it for American audiences.
Don't ruin it. Leave it the way it is.
Let me just remake it. If you're gonna watch #After Dark this week, we're doing the Power Rangers After Dark. Technically, I don't even know if I'm on the episode, but these Kyutamas will tell us who's going to be on the episode when I get my giant Qlet. They'll let me know who's gonna be on this episode. But I do have a pitch in place of how I would do the season. I'm not gonna give it here. I'll give it in a couple days, or I guess tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be pretty legit.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, there's so much you can do with this show. Anyway, the Rangers are in peril. Lucky got shot in the gut, seemingly dies. It seems like he dies, but it's pretty badass. What else happens?
Oh, well, then Don Armage just kind of flexes his power, beats up every one of them pretty much single-handedly. His sidekick was there but didn't have to do anything. Just kind of watched.
And Orion was like, what the hell are you guys doing?
But then Orion comes in and tries to go ahead and protect everyone with the shield.
And it breaks.
Dude, the Sith goes, the whatever, Sith? What is that thing when you have like a... the Grim Reaper. No, the Grim Reaper has a scythe.
A sick or whatever? A psych?
Sickle? Whatever it is. So, scythe? There you go. Scythe.
I don't think that's what it's called.
I don't know what it's called. So, anyway, whammo, right through the shield, and it pierces the shield, and of course also pierces Orion.
But we don't get to see that right off the bat.
No, but dude, you get immediately. Once I saw him hit, you saw it go through, and you saw him hit, and he was like,
like the anime.
Yeah. He was like, oh my god.
And then you see his little shit come down.
Yeah.
Little intestines.
Yeah. So no, without that happening. But yeah, he got hit in the gut too. So he's taking it bad, and it's life threatening later when we go ahead and pay attention to what's happening with Lucky.
He got pounded.
He did. It was horrible. So then after that, we get Lucky laid out, and they're all discussing, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to save Lucky? And that's when the Phoenix Soldier mentions the whole story concerning...
resurrecting and being a phoenix.
Exactly.
And giving his power. So we called this a couple weeks ago. Did call it that the Phoenix Soldier would sacrifice himself, saying that, this kid's legendary... Like, I need to sacrifice myself because he would do it for anybody else. But we did call that out.
No, well, he said pretty much, be the shield.
I mean, it happened. Now, here, did you expect the Phoenix Soldier to actually die and replace?
I did. I really thought, with the whole healing thing, and he was healing him during the fight and everything like that, I thought that was going to be it. Man. But even before that did happen, where he starts the healing, there's a really interesting conversation that happens between the Phoenix Soldier and Orion. Where Phoenix Soldier is trying to really do a heavy-handed kind of hinting, saying, well, it's not a coincidence that this kid, happens to show up. He's a miracle in this way, and when you guys are fighting, this Miracle Kyutama shows up for a moment.
Well, how cool is that Kyutama, by the way?
Oh my man!
It's also a $60 Kyutama.
Serious?
Yeah, I think one of our producers bought it. It's a $60. I don't know. You guys can't see it, but we have tons of Kyutamas here. Like tons.
Yeah.
Our producer just got us the $60 Kyutama, and we're going to be giving that out here next week at the hashtag Power Rangers After Dark.
What? I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, we're giving that out.
He'd be very upset if he just gave away his...
giving that out.
Horrible. But, that was actually interesting to see it float above them and know everything it was going to do. But even before that, when that conversation was happening, where he pretty much reveals... He's hinting to it, like I said, heavy-handedly, and saying... This guy is connected to you. This guy is clearly connected to you. And before he can actually say, I think he may be, your son, your grandson, before he can say anything, there's a fight here, pay attention, let's go out and fight, and has to ruin my, my one moment.
But that's the reveal that you knew we were going to get. You knew that it was coming, and I think...
We called it.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
we called
some
so
of this...
much of this episode.
I mean, a lot of it's telegraphed.
Yeah, true.
So we this whole thing was telegraphed. That specifically. But the Phoenix Soldier, listen, they do a really good job at this show of leaving hints of where things should go. And it's funny because we said, well, maybe if some of these things happened, it would be great. But all these things are happening that we called. And it's it's great. It's an amazing, amazing show. This show's kicked into high gear so hard that when it ended, I thought, where can it go next? Because we'll get to the ending of the show, but it's where is it going to go? Because I think one thing that I always learn about this show is that it never stops. It never stops getting boring.
No.
You would think, hey, maybe there's an episode where they're just lounging on a ship and just and there was an episode. It was the episode with the little filler episode that they had of the clip show, and even that was done well.
Well, even the episode where they introduced my favorite character, the Golden Afro. I remember that episode.
That was a great episode.
First it was what? They're dancing and feeding the bad guy? This is going to be stupid.
So it's funny.
And then when the episode happened, I was like, this shit is dope.
When I saw that episode, I was actually extremely tired, and I was watching, and I started falling asleep. I had to I didn't fall asleep because it was boring, but I had to fall asleep. I was starting to get just really tired.
Right.
And I legitimately watched that episode and thought, wait, was that a dream, or did all that stuff really happen? So I had to go watch it back. I was like, man, that stuff really happened. So it was a wild episode. But in this one, we get another fight. What else happens?
Oh, well, no. So then the fight happens. Don Armage comes down.
The Phoenix Soldier's doing his thing to bring back
he's healing,
Lucky.
He's healing up Lucky. Lucky's laid out. And while that's happening, he's working to... everyone else is working outside fighting. Don Armage trying to keep him away so they can bring Lucky back. So they're just trying to hold him off. They didn't want to defeat him because they couldn't anyway, but they wanted to hold him off. And he was essentially toying with him. He knew that there were at least two missing, and he was just going through the steps, beating up every one of them in amazing ways. That one moment where he takes his I don't know what he does, but like he just puts his hands up, power like comes out of his hand, and then rains down on Orion's like, shield, and then it just breaks and explodes, and everyone's laid out. I was like, oh my god.
Do you think Don Armage is too OP? Or the right level of OP?
He's the right level. He's the right level because as we see later in the fight. So he's the right level. He's the right level, but he was able to take them down. But he should be. That should be the thing. I mean, this guy has been the one that we've been looking at for so long, thinking. I mean, 39 episodes, or is it 29, 20, 30 episodes. We've been looking at him and thinking like, oh my god, when we finally see this guy, he is going to be like the done it all, and he sure was. Like. He shows up, and when his first time showing up, he almost kills one of our saviors. And
one of the main ones, too.
Yeah. He almost kills one of our saviors, and then also fatally wounds the other one. The ultimate savior. He fatally wounds the ultimate savior. And think about it. He's so ultimate that he never had to change. He never had to side change.
Who?
Orion.
Oh, yeah.
Orion never side changed.
I actually really like Orion. He being introduced to him, he was one of my favorite characters right off the bat. Oh, so there's certain characters, like this show, you like everybody. Yeah. But you love certain characters.
Yeah, very true.
And for me, the one, obviously, the Phoenix Soldier is the one I attach to the most. Because I feel like personality-wise, him and I are very similar. But Orion is one of those characters that's kind of like he's like the wise guide that was helping. I mean, he has a cool storyline, and I like his aesthetic. I like the way that he just looks different than all the other Rangers. Wow. At least the way he dresses, he looks like a Jedi.
Yeah, sure. Mine would be weird enough. I know everybody's like Commander, but mine would actually be Naga. Because I think if I had a moment to just let loose and be like, I'm coming after everyone, like all my teammates and everything. I know everyone's like one thing, and I'm gonna fucking kill all of you. Like I would go off like that. It's like, what? Like Daniel, the goofy Daniel did this? You wouldn't expect it. So that's why I feel like I'm like, yeah, me and Naga. I can see that.
Naga would be your guy.
Naga would be my guy. Like I can see they're like, okay, out of all the people I don't expect to ever turn on me and do something bad, it would be like Daniel, this goofy Daniel that doesn't really serve too much of a purpose or gonna hurt anyone. And then
just earlier before you came today, we were trying to figure out which Kyuranger each one of our cast members would be, and it's actually pretty tough because it changes week to week.
Oh yeah. Ultimately, though, I'd be Commander, but
you would be the Commander. You would be the Commander, 100%. Yeah. It would, and because you were that goofy that old. But
well, thank you. That hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it's this episode was intense, and the thing is, it was deep. This gave me a sense of the hero shot when Lucky comes back. It was it reminded me of those animes where it's like the hero, or even any really superhero thing. Heroes get kicked down, and then you get that one that comes back in. Captain America's probably going to do an Infinity War, with his beard and his dirty suit. That's it's going to be like that, where he doesn't have So I think that you get that hero moment, and you also get that sense of self-sacrifice from the Phoenix Soldier that was very selfish at first. But now it's kind of no, we're a team.
Well, he understood. He says to himself, he says right there where he's like, he is the Miracle Soldier. He's going to surpass me. This is what this is what we've worked for. And it was just okay, they both understood it then. And let's talk about it. When he finally does resurrect Lucky and brings Lucky back, and you see Lucky do his heroic walk-in, his heroic just slow motion. Stroll in, and it's just oh shit. We see his foot, then after that
there's animes that are just that I've seen that are just like that,
man.
But you know what's brilliant about this show is that I can't say this about all Sentai because I don't know all Sentai, unfortunately. But what I can say about this show is that there's definitely a clear sense of I can easily see this being adapted as an anime.
Oh yeah,
because you can get that hero shot with Johnny Young Bosch's voice of and you thought we
right.
And I could totally see this happening.
I had to wait. Now there's a time where we will actually.
Why do you sound like?
That's how he sounds.
You sound like Triple H. Why is your Johnny Young?
I
am the gamer. What is wrong?
No, but that's how they. Well, now it's time, and we are going to blah blah blah.
Now you sound like Jezzer.
Everything.
I don't.
Well, that's pretty much my voice. Hey guys.
But something that was cool in this though is that the confrontation between Don Armage and the other Rangers, because Don Armage's been built up in our heads to be this Darth Vader-esque villain, and he lives up to that expectation.
Literally, it was kind of like the hallway scene.
Now, were you a little disappointed though that because we're gonna get to what happens, that we only get Don Armage really in this form like this early? Because I feel like,
okay, all right, go ahead.
With 30 episodes,
that's my thing.
Roughly there's gonna be 42. That we're getting them pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
At least from what I think is early.
Right. I mean, we're 12 ahead of where I would expect to actually see like the magnum opus of his fights. You know, like I expected him to show up for the last 4 episodes, beat the shit out of everybody, and like that one before the 4th, and after that show up a little bit for the 3rd, and then the 2nd one, big fight, and on the final one he has a fight and he loses.
But how brilliant is it? Now, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that the producers of Q, or the writers of Kyuranger, have a bigger plan in play, or does it mean that we go downhill from here?
Oh my God, no! It's a bigger plan in play, and they've been planning this out. It's amazing.
So we got to talk about what happens to the Don.
Well, okay, so Don Armage has a fight with the Rangers. He's laying them out, but then, like we said, we get the hero shot with Lucky. Lucky comes through, and he comes through like a boss. Like a boss.
Here's what I didn't
opening portals, man.
Here's the thing I didn't like. This is the only gripe I have about this episode.
His weird helmet. That's my only gripe.
I like this helmet.
I don't know.
Oh, that thing.
Things about like.
That's the lions. The 2 lions, though.
I wasn't crazy about it.
So here's the thing I didn't like is that I wanted.
Well, it was Orion and Orion.
I wanted Orion to henshin into the White Ranger first, because I feel like that's a fitting person that should have those powers first. I wanted him to give it to Lucky, not for it to ascension. I mean, he does, the Kyutama, Lucky doesn't end up with it, but I feel that, like, with all the sacrifice that happens with Orion, he at least should have henshined once as the White Ranger.
But then his sacrifice wouldn't have been as poignant as it was.
No, it would have been even more, because now he's like, now I have this power that was passed down to me by this great sacrifice this other guy made.
But then the power wouldn't have been that cool or that OP'd at that time, because it means Orion.
But see, now it makes me feel that, like, White Ranger Lucky is super OP. I don't like that, though.
Well, he is. You saw it.
And why can't we just get 13 Q Rangers? Like, is Lucky is he gonna always be the White Ranger, or is he gonna be the red and then move into the white?
Red move into the white.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I think that thing is gonna be helpful as far as powering.
I don't like that his power up is a complete new color.
I
don't like it.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, he is a descendant.
So.
And talk about that for a second. Where Orion says to him that, well, you're a descendant of, you're one of my descendants. You're from the
Leo Galaxy.
Leo and Orion constellations. Yeah. And things like that. And he says, you're my descendant. I wondered, so one of the producers brought it up, but I was thinking the same thing. I wonder, is that something that's lost in translation when it says descendant? Does it mean something that's close to actually, like, grandson?
No, I think it meant what it meant. Like, so I think it's descendant. So 330 some odd years.
Yeah, but like we said before, we don't know how much.
We don't know how they age. We don't know any of that.
But if they're saying descendant, they're going to keep it as that. Then we'll go with it. 300 years down the line, he is a descendant. So he has the bloodline.
Did you at least want to see Orion henshin to the White Ranger?
No, I felt that if I did, Orion would have done the job that Lucky did.
No, that's the thing. I wanted Orion to henshin to the White Ranger and then die and then give it to Lucky.
And then
Lucky takes it. But
if he died, that means that it wouldn't have been as OP as it was.
But that's the thing. The story for me is stronger when it's about overcoming. So what I mean is the power shouldn't dictate what the person can do, right? So for me, a stronger story is this almighty dude comes in, gets defeated, Lucky takes it and takes the responsibility of like, hey, this dude fell. Now I have his powers essentially, and it's about overcoming. It's not about how, like the power in the galaxy that it's giving you. It needs to be a human story essentially.
Okay.
So I think that that's a stronger story element is when you're telling a human story of a character overcoming rather than this giving you magical powers. I think personally, that's why I think it would have been more important. I think his death would have been more important had he died at, like, henshining one time is like one of the legendary things, and then Lucky getting it. I think.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I really, like I said, I still expected Phoenix Soldier to die, and I expected Orion to die. For me, it's unfortunate that Phoenix Soldier lived and Orion died, but I understand why, as we'll go through later. It's going to happen. It's going to be important why he didn't die. But I get what you're saying about the human story, like humanizing it. But I just still feel like it's like, well, damn, if he's like this amazing ranger without ever side changing, and then finally when he does side change, he can't win. You're like, he wasn't really all that.
But see, for me, I think the stakes are higher like that. If you go from being this ultimate dude that kind of gets whooped, but then if you had just like a classic bout, like you want to see, like, you know, him start winning, and then something happens, some underhanded thing happens, the hero loses, and he falls in the process of losing, and then another hero picking it up, being like, no, it gives you a sense of motivation why you want to defeat the villain. So then
out of his rage,
right, and then that's where you get the real power up, and then just goes for it and just does everything that he did. I feel like it's a story beat. It's a story beat that you missed. Listen, the show doesn't miss a lot of story beats, but it's definitely taking the audience of like, okay, now we have the White Ranger kind of like guiding them into battle, but then it's like, oh my gosh, he just died. And then it's like, what do you do now?
But with that, isn't that kind of like writing by the numbers? I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, this is what we need, that push.
Well, I mean, let me ask you this, because for me, I felt the death is less meaningful because he just kind of died unheroically. Off screen as well. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. And then after that, they're like, okay, let's just...
Literally, just like that. It was like, oh, so bad. Oh, you're dead. All right, guys, let's go. And it was like, oh, that's just weird.
But I feel like his death would have meant more if all that stuff happened.
In battle,
I actually think that this episode should have been 2 episodes. I think they could have drawn this out a little bit.
I mean, essentially it was.
I mean, it was, but it could have been more. Like, it could have been like a couple more, because you could definitely drop this Don Armage storyline.
Well, I think, and we'll get to it, I think they actually are. But so from there, yes, Orion does. Steps out of the way so that Lucky can go and show his OP, which is the one thing I always have a problem with. When we saw the Phoenix Soldier, it was like, okay, this is going to be an issue later because I'm going to expect you to do that every time, but he has actually, and that's the thing. I was like, okay, I expect this every time, and you're not going to give it to me, you're just going to let me down. And they were like, oh no. Every time we have a fight, we'll let the Phoenix Soldier show up, and that's exactly what happened. It was like the Green Ranger kind of ethic, where it was like, oh no, we're really in trouble, and then all of a sudden he's like, no problem, guys, you know, his little thing, and then he shows them beats the shit out of people.
Is that your when you played for Ginger Dale the?
No.
Did you play like some kind of instrument?
I know what I'm talking about.
Is it a flute, trumpet?
Yeah.
Is it? What is it?
I did not know what I'm talking about, man. I know what I'm talking about. Oh God!
Insert penis in
there. I knew you were gonna say, like, I'm thinking of Silicon Valley. It's like he's like he has a dick in his mouth and he tucks a dick in the back of his ear for later. Like it's like a snack dick for his ear later. I was like, God damn it! But no, so but that's exactly what they did here. So they didn't depower him. He's always still that strong, and he doesn't fight to his OP level because he has to let them still fight, and that's the reason why he doesn't do it. So I guess that's what we'll probably see later with Lucky too. I don't know, but Lucky comes through and he's ripping holes in space and time and pulling weapons out of
there. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was amazing. When he tells the commander, "Oh, don't worry, take care of that," just reaches in, throws him a Kyutama. I was like, what is happening here? Like, he has full control of the manipulation of space and time.
That's
cool.
It's crazy cool. Actually, you don't like his helmet. I actually really like his helmet. Because it looks complete to me.
But it looks kind of too long in one way. And then it's like...
I don't know. I like it. I like the completion.
It's large enough to have a freaking mural.
You know what else? It also looks like, one of our producers mentioned, and I thought this too, that the shield does look like the Green Ranger shield repurposed into white.
Oh, man. Right? Oh, come on.
It looks like the Green Ranger shield. It's crazy.
It
or
is
the Dragon Ranger or whatever. Yeah. But it does look a lot like that. But I like the suit a lot. It looks super clean. I like the red accents. In my heart of hearts, I do feel at some point in the past, Orion did henshin into the White Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was his power.
Definitely.
He was the White Ranger.
Definitely. At
So
one time he had to.
I'm gonna write a fan fiction about Orion's journeys as the White Ranger.
That would be dope, actually.
And his journeys with the Phoenix Soldier, because they were buddies, so maybe they had their own team of Rangers.
Oh, you can do like the Big Finish kind of thing, but you're doing like a whole audio.
With the Japanese guys come in?
Yeah. Like,
No, I don't know Japanese.
So
I'm gonna ask the Phoenix. Maybe no, I don't want to do your stupid thing. Like,
oh, dude, it'd be amazing. But
here's the thing. So they're all standing at his pretty much gravesite, and the commander wants to stay back in time.
Well, this is after, of course, he kills after Lucky kills Don Armage, or at least what we think.
We're led to believe.
I mean, dude, the explosion was. I thought he was dead, but so
The commander stays back in time
but not by himself.
with Champ. So, and he does step on the commander's lines. He's trying to deliver a cool speech.
God, man, it was like, oh, really? When I was giving the cool speech, it's like that definitely feels like me. I'm giving a cool speech. Here comes the show.
It wouldn't be me, because who would be our champ? Would during the vote today, I feel like we're doing the college football AP polls. During the vote today, Champ was labeled as Sarah. So
I can see that. Where I'm like giving my speech, and Sarah's like, oh yeah, well, I guess I'm in too. No, but he laughed at him. Like, ha 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 ha. Well, that's me too. I was like, what the dude, this is a really good speech. I'm sacrificing. Don't join in on this. It's my bandwagon. It's on me. And he just jumps on it.
But you have to assume we're going to see them again.
Well,
and we're not done in this
said,
timeline.
Come back. Make sure to come back every once in a while to visit us. So we'll be seeing them before.
This could be a budgetary thing just to write them out so they don't have to use the suits.
Suits. Yeah, I think so. Because they're like, all right, we have Don Armage.
And they're two tokusatsu suits
exactly.
that they can kind of write out of the story.
Exactly.
But at this point, then, who takes the commander's place? Is it the Phoenix Soldier?
Phoenix Soldier, I think, and Lucky. Well, once again, like we pointed out, and you were the one that first started it, each one plays a role of being a leader at different moments, and they will continue to do that. I think that's exactly.
But who's going to be the figurehead? Because it was the commander.
Who's going to be the person to go? All right, that's the question. Who's going to be the person to go ahead?
I don't think it's going to be Lucky.
Like you let.
There's one. It could be Raptor. It could be Raptor.
Oh,
because she was kind of like the one always with Lucky.
The base now, blah, blah,
it could be Raptor,
shit.
but I do think it's going to end up being the Phoenix Soldier.
Yeah.
I think he's going to kind of take over. Not in a comedic sense, but he's going to take over the team in terms of like letting them do like their like kind of like the overall.
Right.
But I think that Lucky's still going to kind of lead the team in the field. Like he's going to be the total guy. But man, we get back to our current day time, and everyone, it's like this almost feels like it could have ended. Like this was the ending of how the show's supposed to go.
Right.
And they're like, all right, we did it. Like we beat Don Armage. Things should have changed. And you see Hammy, and they're like, "Oh, it's Hammy, hey!" And she's like, "Guys, look!" And then they look up,
and we see it. We see it.
It's Naga.
Oh man! Like with a crew, he has the crew that he's been left there with.
That's crazy.
And he turns around at the camera, and he's like, "Yeah, like, oh shit, just got real." Like he really looks.
Well, here's the cool thing about this season. Think about some of the villains we've already gotten. We had Stinger's brother, which was dope. Like that storyline was great. You have Naga now, who's like, and who we always wanted to be like, just stay a villain.
Yes.
Now it looks like we possibly could get that. But here's the thing: are we left to question? Is Naga Don Armage?
Because right after that, we
or is that our producer thinks Cuervo is Don Armage?
Cuervo could be, but I'm like, really? I don't know though. I mean, because. So the camera changes, and we get the shot changes, and then we get the Don Armage figure that we've been accustomed to, the hooded figure, red eyes, and it's like, wait a minute, what? So he's still alive again?
And who is he?
How many times do we have to kill you just to lie to us? Like, man. And the question is, so now it does start to roll. Who is he? And I'm thinking, well, there is the option of...
This is like Snoke. Maybe Snoke is just Snoke, but not so much here. Maybe Don Armage is somebody more grand.
Maybe Don Armage is just a figurehead that they use.
Like a mantle.
So now that he's gone, all right, someone else will take it. And it could be Naga.
But then again, we don't necessarily know that's Don Armage under the cloak.
That's true.
We're led to believe that it is, but it could be anybody under that cloak.
Like you said, it could be Cuervo, it could be Naga. But why would Naga do that? Like, all right, here I am. Now wardrobe change real quick. And now, like, that's a lot to do. It could be... Who else could it be? Man, I mean, Scorpion's gone. He wouldn't show back up again as a villain. I don't know who else could it be.
That reveal is going to be so awesome.
It's going to be epic. What if? But this is just going way too far. What if it's Orion?
See, I thought about Orion. Orion is on my list. But then again, what if it's the Phoenix Soldier?
But
because
he was right there with them, though.
But he keeps this. We already know we could time travel and stuff like that. And he has
Well,
the
he
ability.
can't anymore.
He has the
What's
ability
that?
to come back, to keep coming back to life, or at least we're led to believe.
Well, he's not dead. He was just walking on the street with them, though.
But who's to say that like it could be an alternate like timeline
Okay.
Phoenix Soldier?
Okay.
Who knows? The thing is, listen. That's probably not the likely case. I don't think it's Orion either at this point, but it could be. It could just be Don Armage didn't die.
What if it's Commander or Champ?
It could be Commander or Champ. It could be. I don't think it would be.
What if one of them realizes to have that story, to have that...
They need the villain.
They need the villain, and it's like, well, I have to do this, or something like that. Or he has to gain this particular type of power. By working to gain this particular power, it corrupts him, and then he becomes evil. That could be another story that we have to go through.
Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe the Don Armage they beat wasn't really Don Armage.
Don Armage at all.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I mean, I'm not saying like Horcrux kind of thing where he splits himself up in a bunch of different levels, but what if that's the case? It was just like somebody he put out there and they were like, yeah, sure, that's Don Armage, but it never was.
But I do think it's a mantle.
Yeah?
Well, I don't know. It could be Naga.
I mean, because Don itself is still a word of respect, even in Japanese. So it could be, just once again, a mantle. It really could. Doesn't have to necessarily be an actual person. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that would work really well, and it helps to be rather fluid as far as putting a story together for a character. So it's like, yes, this evil will always remain. So Dark Matter always continues to flourish. That would be good.
I don't know. Who do you think it is right now if you had to call somebody? If you had to be like, this is who it is. Put you on the spot.
I would love to say it's Naga.
I would love to say it's Naga too.
But it's like, once again, the show doesn't do it.
Dark
It's like,
change.
yeah, but that's the thing. The show doesn't want to do it in a way where it's like, oh my god, what if it's that chick? The one that said...
The turn Naga?
Yeah, that she said, no, not the one that turned Naga, the one that said, I'm here to make sure I stop him. Where is she?
What chick?
She
the one that was part of his race.
Yeah. Well,
The Naga.
The long-haired Naga. What if it's her?
It could be.
I mean, because they left, and a lot of things had to change in time for her still coming up. I don't know.
I don't know who it is.
So there's so many people who it could be, and it's just fun to even speculate, which I love that I'm getting to do.
Leave a
this
comment,
on the show.
or leave a comment in the messages below.
Actually, that's what I want to know. I want to know, what do you guys think? Who do you think, this new Don Armage is?
Let's get to it.
Give us a little story as to why. It makes sense.
I'll read the first one.
All right, let's go.
All right. Ryan Super 04 Steel Speed Thomas says, great Henshin Hangout, guys. Nice to see you again, Peter. Hey, Joseph. And hello, Daniel. And yo, Daryl. Give this episode a 5 out of 7. That's a weird grading scale.
Yeah.
For me, this episode was epic. 7. 7?
I don't.
I've been watching a lot of Kamen Rider Wizard every day. Enjoy it. I enjoy the story they tell. Love Kamen Rider Wizard. You like Kamen Rider Wizard? Are you a big fan?
I haven't even seen it.
All right.
So I don't even know. Shout out to you, Ryan. Shout out. I got Apollo Thunder Flame. All right, so anyway, I tend to compare, that's why you made me read this one, this is really long. I tend to compare Power Rangers to Star Trek, franchise associated with...
on the episode I did on my own, I did 3 pages of these, okay? Just going to put that out there.
Yeah. Where's that count?
I don't know where the count's at.
It's like at 400 or something already.
400? Right, you mean like 700.
Well, whatever, all right? God, look, I hate you right now. I tend to compare Power Rangers to Star Trek.
I tend to compare it to Doctor Who, actually.
Oh, really?
Power Rangers, yeah, okay, absolutely. Doctor
that.
Who started off in the 60s as a cheesy kid show with like rubber-suited It's very similar.
Well, but
it's not different.
They did what you suggested.
The only difference is Power Rangers made a good movie. Doctor Who, on the other hand, hasn't really.
Doctor Who will not make a movie, man. It's not going to happen.
They did. They made a couple.
It's for TV.
It is for TV.
No. So, franchise associated with the cheesy first series that also had a movie about, a movie reboot in recent years.
Which was pretty good.
Okay. Okay, that's true.
But nobody watches Star Trek.
No. I mean, for God's sakes, their show is going to be on
the streaming service.
Streaming service. It can't even be on their actual network. It's CBS. It's a channel for old people.
It's not
untrue. You know
untrue.
how they get their ratings? They start off with 20 or 60 minutes. They hope that
That's a true story.
I'm telling you, the old people fall asleep after 60 minutes. It starts at 8. They end at 9. They're already asleep, and they just let their TV roll. So then it's like, all right, let's roll all our good stuff. Here goes the Bang Show or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
Are you talking about CSI?
Yeah. Well, all the 20 different CSIs they have, and then
I mean, there's a lot of crap.
Yeah, that Nerd Bang Show or whatever. I don't know what it is. But they do all that.
Can you
stuff.
name me 5 CBS shows? Go. Hawaii Five-0.
No, Hawaii Five-0, CSI.
No, you got just CSI. Just one CSI.
No, there's Miami, there's Vegas, there's Florida.
They don't count. Just one CSI.
Oh, come on. All right, CSI. 60 Minutes.
60 Minutes doesn't count.
Why not?
Because it's not like a. All right, fine. 60 Minutes.
Show. Person of Interest isn't on air anymore.
Nope.
I don't know. The Bang Theory.
You already named that.
No, did I?
Yeah.
Did I well, that's pretty much my extent of CBS. I'm not that old.
It's interesting that Star Trek would be on the CBS streaming service when it seems like they don't have enough shows.
I don't know.
They have 50 CSI shows, but you can just put one of the. Maybe they should do. Oh, they should do CSI like Cyber on the streaming service. There has to be a CBS.
Maybe the Star Trek show was actually a CSI show they just had left over, and they were like, let's just make it in space, and that's it. They just ran with it.
I honestly think the Star Trek show legitimately was a fan film, and they just bought the rights to it. It looks like a fan film to me.
All right, so Kamen Rider.
You guys also know that Rainn Wilson from The Office is on the new Star Trek show?
Is he?
Yeah, so he plays a guy named something Mudd. I don't know his name. But here's the thing.
Oh my God.
You know what was a better version of Star Trek that he was also in? Galaxy Quest.
Yep.
Go watch Galaxy Quest.
All right, so Kamen Rider is the one I usually compare to Doctor Who. Long-running foreign franchise with a main character that transforms somewhat often, mostly absent in the 90s besides the movie or 3. Successfully revived in the 2000s and continuing to this day.
When do you think Doctor Who stopped becoming successful?
That hurts.
You do a Doctor Who show.
That hurts, man. That hurts.
But it's true.
Look, all right, so Doctor Who stopped becoming successful
when Clara died?
When Matt Smith left.
That might be true.
Showing up, I think people were already kind of like losing momentum. They were just done. After
well, I think it really hurt.
Mad that it was Capaldi. They were like going from this young.
Listen, you know how you can tell Doctor Who's losing its steam? Is that when they had a special to announce Capaldi as the next Doctor, and this time they announced the Doctor was on a Twitter post. It's losing a little bit of steam. A special, half-an-hour special about the history of Doctor Who. We're going to make the big announcement. And this one was like, I didn't even know it was on. It was like a tweet, like somebody at
sorry, what?
Somebody at BBC America just like, let's just announce it today on... All right. That's what happened.
That is what happened. Thank you, Joe, for reminding me.
And it's supposed to be historic. It's our first
Put salt in the wound, Joe. Salt in the wound.
First female Doctor is announced on a Twitter post? On a tweet? Are you fucking kidding me?
It's because they think that women can't sell it, and that's unfemale.
Why do they think that?
Because we're...
Who's running this? The people that run Power Rangers? Where's our female Power Ranger toys? Or they're still on the shelves at Toys R Us, I think.
Toys R Us, apparently. Oh, jeez. All right, so the answer from last time was Kamen Rider Ajito. Oh, for his describe a bad... premise for a show or do it in a bad way. Okay. Ajito has amnesia. Gills is a socialist outcast. G3 is a cop, but also a total klutz. Damn, that sounds like a good show. Amnesia, a social outcast. God damn. All right. Well, the monsters are angels, and the main villain is basically God. Dang. That's actually really okay. I'm gonna watch it.
Watch it.
Man, that's not bad.
You're not gonna watch it though.
I'm not gonna watch it. But man, the actor talk was the actor talk was deep. Brought me back to my days in musical theater. It's super stressful, yo. Okay.
Yeah, that music theater is super stressful.
Hey, you don't know how it is, man.
I'm not saying I do.
I mean, you get on stage and you've got to sing, and while you're singing, you've got to make sure that everyone else is good.
You got to have good jazz hands.
Yeah, well, it's a lot
All right.
of that,
So, here's the Japan boy says, has anyone heard of Grand Caesar? No, obviously can't even say it, so I haven't heard of it.
Have you heard of Grand Caesar?
No. They're similar to Kyurangers, where constellations were involved, and they have Zord/Megazords. Other similar Toku shows that are similar to Super Sentai are... Really, guy? Justirizer, Caesar X, Tamaka Hero...
Say that again? What was that?
Justirizer.
Okay, cool.
Justirizers, Caesar X, Tamaka Hero Rescue Force Fire... I think you're making these up. No way. Those are a few Toku shows I liked, and I was surprised to see Toku shows that are like Super Sentai, but not. Actually, funny enough, I would actually watch some of these shows. Send us a link or something.
Dude,
because that'll make my life easier.
The Agito one, I'm down for, man.
Because literally, you could have made this up, and I wouldn't have known. Because it's like you picked up a few for names.
Like they did for Kamen Rider Build. Or no, the next one.
We don't have a name. We don't know. We don't know if that's official, though. We don't know if that's official.
There's leprechauns and unicorns and chupacabras.
But that is going to be one of the seasons, actually,
so
leprechauns and
weird.
unicorns.
So
but that's going to do it for us here at the Henshin Hangout. Daryl, get well, buddy. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, yeah, and definitely, like we said, go ahead and leave your comments below. Let us know what you guys think may be coming up for the show as far as with everything that's going on. And who do you think this new hooded figure is? Or is it someone that's already been there before? Let us know in the comments below for that. And, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Joe.
And this has been the Henshin Hangout.
And you can find me on Instagram at that hashtag Joe. You can find me on Twitter at that hashtag Joe. You can find me on all social media at that hashtag Joe. You can also find me on screenrant.com. But also, more importantly, you can find my solo episode of Ranger Wrap Up this week. Check it out. It was great. Had a good time.
Oh my
Where can we find you?
Oh, does it matter? I don't even know. You can find me on social media at Battlestar Galactica. You can also find me on Twitter at that hashtag BSG. You'll also find me here and occasionally on After Dark. So that's it. And until next time, I guess say the change yourselves and have a great day. I don't know.
Leave a message in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.